morning and welcome to Lovin Daily. I'm Sam Vasallo, joined today by lovely co-host Paula Kauki. How are you?
Sam.
Good morning. Yeah, I love a female lineup always. Let's go ahead with the headlines, but before that, we do have a sponsor today. Today's episode is sponsored by PT Matic Environmental Services, where they are running a competition where you can win a recycled kayak. It's the first of its kind, completely made from marine litter and fishing industry waste. All you have to do to compete is send us a photo of your upcycled creations via the link you'll see at the end of this episode, together with, of course, your contact details and the lovely images. Let's get straight to the headlines. So, police have officially arrested the second suspect behind the SLIEMA double homicide. BUİBBA hotel shaft victim has still not been identified. Malta taxpayers paid at least €250,000 to political party stations as COVID-19 aid. The army minister won't say when urine tests after LUQA cocaine party were conducted, and Malta officially has 46 new cases as of yesterday of COVID-19 and 48 recoveries. Let's get right to it.
Storja l-aħħar update fl-omicidju doppju li seħ it-tlieta li għadda tal-ġimgħa ta' qabel f'ta' SLIEMA fejn jidher illi tikun hemm ħafna movimenti għall-aħjar li xi niskopru wkoll biċċa minn din il-puzzle makabra. Il-bieraħ għal-ħabta ta' 11 ta' filgħaxija ġie arrestat it-tieni suspettat huwa insab hotel fil-gżira fejn kienet jistaħba ovvjament mill-pulizija, jidher illi prova jaħrab minn fuq il-bjut meta ġew il-pulizija, però inqabad. Jidher li kollha din jirreżistu sew il-qabda tal-pulizija, dan anke wara li rajna l-arrest ta' Muka, l-Albaniżi li instab fil-Furjana, illi wkoll kien hemm kommozzjoni bl-isparaturi għaddejjin, allura jidher li nkomplu nikkonfermaw li dawn mhumiex qattila tal-ħabba gozz, però huma nies ittrenjati fil-fatt da Muka milli jidher konferma hu stess li huwa parti minn gang kriminali, però qiegħed jisħaq li mhuwiex il-moħħ ta' wara dan l-omiċidju doppju. Tajb li ngħidu li għandu wkoll 25 sena, ġifieri jaf li dan il-grupp huwa wkoll teta' żgħira. Nkunu nafu la jinqabdu iż-żewġ suspettati l-oħra li kienu involuti f'dan l-omicidju doppju.
Well said, Paula. So just to remind viewers, this week has passed so fast with all the breakthroughs that have happened since the double homicide of Chris Baldolfina and Ivor Majowski, who were murdered in their home in SLIEMA. Since then, there's been a dramatic raid in Floriana where Muka was arrested. Yesterday, of course, as you said, the second suspect has now been arrested. A murder weapon has also been seized. It seems that they're closing in on the two other suspects as well, and I'm glad justice is coming fast, and it's said that Muka will actually be charged today in court, so we'll see how that goes. Huma
bejniethom jikxfux wieħed illi ieħor, ovvjament l-antiċipazzjoni li jinstab il-moħħ għas sempliċi raġuni li tantu stramp dan il-każ il-motiv li tant kien hemm kontroversja u teoriji dwar għal xiex sar dal-omiċidju illi la darba jinqabad il-moħħ, forsi jekk jitkellem fuq kollox inkunu nafu x'ġara verament dak il-lejl ta' SLIEMA.
I wonder if it will still be considered a theft by then, but that is the work of the police. On to the next story. So last week, a days-old body was found in the infamous La Paloma Hotel in BUİBBA. So the victim, who was found in a shaft within the hotel, has still not been identified by police, which means that this person has still not been dignified with a name. Police are excluding foul play, and they have spoken to a witness, but that is all the information we have on this tragic event.
I mean, din il-lukanda għal min ma jiftakarx hija l-lukanda li meta kien hemm raid fiha instabu 20 immigranti jgħixu f'kundizzjonijiet tal-waħx, ġifieri l-uffiċjali tal-Environmental Health x'in marru jaraw tas-sanità pubblika ħadu xokk u ħadd ma kien jistenna illi jkun hemm nies għas annimali. Jaħseb wara n-nies jgħixu f'dawn il-kondizzjonijiet dan minkejja li kienu qegħdin iħallsu mijiet ta' euro fix-xahar biex ikollhom fejn jorqdu dal-post disgustanti. Milli jidher jaf li għadhom qegħdin imorru hemmhekk l-immigranti se jekk hux qed iħallsu jekk hux qed isibu kien taħt saqaf wieħed għadu jrid jara. U hija sorprendenti il-fatt illi tant u disgustanti dal-post li daw l-immigranti għazbis indunaw donnom illi kellhom katavru fix-xaft li kien ilu ġimgħa u jumejn. Kellhom ikunu l-ġirien illi indunaw bir-riħa qawwija, immaġina katavru f'disħana kif spiċċa illi rapportaw il-pulizija. Meta wieħed iqis li kien diġà f'stat ta' dekompożizzjoni u laħqet għaddit ġimgħa oħra fuq il-każ. Naħseb ix-xogħol tal-pulizija biex identifikaw minnu dan immigrant qed issir iktar u iktar diffiċli. Sfortunatament għalih, però s'issa din jgħidu li ma jidhirx li kien hemm foul play u li għalhekk dan il-bniedem miet jew b'xi inċident jew xi suwiċidju. Ħasra li qatt ma nkunu nafu, però ħasra wkoll li qegħdin xorta jgħixu f'dawn il-kundizzjonijiet dawn l-immigranti.
Exactly, and this just represents a widespread problem we have now in Malta, you know, I mean, homelessness is on the rise. Yeah, you remember those migrants who were having to live next to the Triton fountain, you know. Several localities are flagging this problem as well, and I hope that this is the final straw that authorities are taking this seriously and trying to find solutions that are long term.
Storja li m'għandix taqsam mal-makabrità tal-istejjer li kellna fil-bidu wara intervista li jagħmel il-Prim Ministru Robert Abela fuq Lovin Malta l-ħadd li għadda fejn għamel referenza għall-għajnuna li tagħti l-Istat lill-midja sabiex ikun hemm pluralizmu fil-midja fi kliemu u wara li Lovin Malta saqsiet biex tara x'kienet din l-għajnuna irriżulta li b'kollox ħarġu mijiet eluf ta' euro sabiex ikunu mejjuna l-mezzi tax-xandir, mod partikolari l-istazzjonijiet tat-televiżjoni li b'kollox b'kalkoli li għamlu Lovin Malta u għandu TVM f'daqqa rċivew ma' 360,000 euro bħala għajnuna fi żmien il-Covid. Din il-formula nħadmet għaliex kien hemm table stabilita minn Malta Enterprise li kienet tagħti 45,000 euro fix-xahar għal stazzjonijiet ta' televiżjoni, allura għan TVM monet u jista' jkun li benefikaw ukoll xi stazzjonijiet żgħar oħra. Il-gazzetti jingħataw 10,000 euro fix-xahar, l-online portals jingħataw sa 5,000 euro fix-xahar, radio 3,500 euro fix-xahar u min wassal l-aħbarijiet fuq iktar minn stazzjon wieħed jew iktar minn portal wieħed ingħata mal-10,000 fix-xahar. Ovvjament għajnuna li kulħadd kellu bżonn għaliex waqgħu ħafna riklami twafqu ħafna programmi għaliex ma kienx hawn flus fl-idejn, nemmen li kien hawn sessjonijiet oħra li batew daqs jekk mhux iktar minn min wassal l-informazzjoni, nispera li wkoll ingħataw kumpens xieraq daqs kemm ingħataw il-media houses illi hemm bżonn li ma jmutux jibqgħu ħajjin biex jiskrutinizzaw dak li jkun għaddej madwarna.
Exactly. So after receiving more than €250,000 as COVID-19 aid granted by the state, both party-owned stations refused to give breakdowns of the costs as to where this money was going. And recently, you know, I mean, we've been talking about media pluralism and independence for the past, I'd say, month. And I feel like now, you know, the government is kind of arguing that for the sake of media pluralism, you know, we need to keep these two party stations alive. And frankly, I disagree. I think with the money that this is costing taxpayers, we could have our own BBC, you know, and PBS could finally be fully independent. And in fact, Lovin Malta is taking both party-owned stations to court because we argue that political coverage that they transmit is against the Constitution, it's against our right to freedom of information, and against fair competition as well.
ħarġet taħda diskursjoni, kulħadd jaf x'naħseb fuq għamor l-istorja. Illi jmiss Sam fidejk tkellimna dwar il-pulizija se jmissu soldati.
Exactly.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment in the newsroom. So the Army Minister, Byron Camilleri, looks like he's sweeping the inquiry under the rug. Which inquiry, you may ask? This is the alleged cocaine party that happened on LUQA barracks. So essentially, may I remind you, a few weeks ago, an ex-soldier named Godwin Shkembri leaked a WhatsApp conversation basically detailing an alleged cocaine party that happened with soldiers on duty, and a soldier named Galia essentially tried to leave the barracks without his pass to try and buy more cocaine, said this to the guard bluntly, and tried to bite the guard when he wasn't allowed out, refused to take a urine test and was fired. Of course, this made the rounds on social media. Camilleri pledged to take disciplinary action and launch an inquiry. However, now the inquiry is over, and it seems that only one person was tested positive for cocaine and was fired on the spot. But the question still remains as to when these urine tests were conducted, why hair tests weren't conducted, so on and so forth. So I don't feel like it's closed. I think there's something smells fishy, and I don't know what it is yet.
Nessa x'azzjonijiet interni qegħdin jittieħdu biex jaraw jekk kienx hemm xi prassi ta' abbuż u biex li titwaqqaf u jitwaqqaf dak suħat frankament. Nispera li jsiru għandi fiduċja li jsirija, però tal-bikija rix dal-pajjiż għandna problema qawwija li biex nirrispettaw l-uniformi. Ġifieri sa ftit tal-ġimgħat ilu xurilu kont tara l-pulizija u tħares li għamu tajt dawn edin hemmhekk biss biex jħawdu fl-overtime. Issa li fl-aħħar il-pulizija qegħdin narawhom they stepped up their game u qegħdin iwasslu riżultati li kulħadd qed ifaħħarhom, għandna soldati li qegħdin itapnu reputazzjoni tagħhom. Ġifieri nispera li l-istess disċiplina li tintwera fil-pulizija tintwera wkoll fis-soldati għaliex l-aħħar ħaġa li għandna bżonn dal-pajjiż fejn kulħadd iħossu cowboy li nibdew naraw soldatu ma nirrispettawx ukoll minħabba aħbarijiet fuq social media li jkun hemm għaddej fuqhom. Nispera ksuħat għax ksuħat irid ikun da. Jinqata' darba l dejjem għax li jkollna reperkussjonijiet fuq skala nazzjonali.
Maybe they just need more social media coverage, you know, like the police are doing now to better their image.
Dak li jkun jinżamm accountable ta' kull pass li jagħmel u nemmel illi jekk għandu jkun. L-aħħar storja tal-lum ovvjament ma stax jonqos COVID update il-bieraħ kellna 46 każ ġdid ta' COVID fil-waqt li għaddilhom 48 ruħ dinja trend li qegħdin naraw li qed konna ħafna nies li qegħdin jgħaddilhom f'salt ovvjament għaliex ikunu għaddew il-ġimgħatejn tliet ġimgħat minn mindu tħabbru il-każijiet il-ġodda. Tajb li ngħidu illi jidher li s-sistemi qegħdin jaħdmu il-bieraħ mill-Amber List ħareġ ukoll każ ta' xi ħadd ġej passiġġier ġej minn Ġirona illi nqabad mir random testing u nqabad li kellu l-COVID u bekk ukoll qegħdin ilimitaw kemm jidħlu nies pajjiżna bil-COVID alla volja nemmen illi bħalissa l-barrani għat iktar friskju li juhu l-COVID mant il-Malti mill-li viċeversa. Ġifieri wieħed jara u jispera li kulħadd joqgħod attent u li anka jekk qed tagħmel affarijiet sempliċi bħal mort tiġbor il-lumi mant il-ġar tilbes il-maskra. Ma nqażux li jistgħu imutu nies vulnerabbli.
Exactly, stay safe. I think that, you know, indeed the restrictions are working in terms of active cases of COVID-19, they are going down, and I believe now all eyes are on the Ministry of Education as to the next step, which is are schools going to open in September or not, and what effect this is going to have on active cases. That's all we have for today. May I remind you, our sponsor for today is PT Environmental Services, and you can win a recycled kayak, the first of this kind, made exclusively from marine litter and fishing industry waste. All you have to do is send us your upcycled creations via a link that will show up after this episode, together with your contact details. I have been Sam Vassallo, this is Paula Kauki, and have a day full of lovin'.